Laptop audio is rolling. Real Review, episode 2. Electric Boogaloo. Through the magic of editing.
Let me put my glasses on.
With the Wayne's World.
Let me put my glasses
Party time.
on.
Excellent. Woo. It's my Wayne's World homage. What do you guys think? What is up, everybody? It's your boy Lou Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, here with another episode of Ed Wood Film School. The video that I'm bringing you today is another reel review, and that's where I take real reels from real actors and in real time review them and give honest, blunt, direct, immediate feedback. This is from a perspective of an independent filmmaker that is involved deeply with casting. At this level of filmmaking, the director is oftentimes one of the producers and is oftentimes one of the production people that is in charge of viewing submissions for different parts. So one question that I got asked this week by Kenny is, does a director usually like to see a headshot at the beginning of an actor's reel? Now, typically, if you're submitting, you're sending me a headshot with your bio, your resume, and then you're also sending me, I don't know what to do with my hands, I'm sorry. And then you're also sending me a link to your reel. So I don't necessarily need the headshot at the beginning of the reel, but if you use it perhaps as your thumbnail with your basic information like your phone number or your website, and you kind of use that as a thumbnail so I see it before I click on the video, then that's gonna help me because after I like the video, and then I go back to it, I can get the information that I need from it right away. Oh, that's right, this is Kenny, this is his phone number. I really like that reel, and then boom, I can get back to you and book you. And if I need to talk to you, if I need to call you, usually obviously we're gonna respond via email and stuff like that, but I don't mind it. So as always, remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and tell me what other kind of videos you want me to put out there. And if you're an actor and you want me to review your reel, send them my way. All right, so our first victim is Karina Lizet Perez. Karina is somebody that I've worked with on a couple of films. She was in my movie Alien Story, which I've talked about ad nauseum. She was also in another film that I edited, but I didn't have a part in writing or directing, with our good friend Claudia Robles, called Cemetery Ferry. And there's a super secret screener out there, but it hasn't gone public yet. And she also works with Claudia and some other people at Greater Light Cinema. They're doing some quarantine film school stuff. So I'm a little bit familiar with her work, but I don't know all the stuff that she's done. So some of the stuff might be familiar to me, some of it may not. She was brave enough to submit herself to the Lou Real Review with Big Chief Burrito. So I'm clicking on it, and away we go. And she has, like I mentioned, she has a thumbnail of her headshot with her information at the front. All right, cool. Let's go. What?
I think I've seen her reel. I shot
Hey, Val. I'm sorry your boyfriend couldn't be here.
I know
today.
this footage because it's from Cemetery Ferry, but it's a good, strong opening.
He was, but you know how he is. He just gets so angry when we come and visit.
This is a good movie. Claudia should put it out publicly already.
I can't believe you're arguing with me right now.
That's because you're
We're
overreacting,
still on
Sarah.
Cemetery Ferry. I think
You know what?
we should cut away to
That's
something else by this point.
overreacting.
It's too much of somebody else's face in your reel.
For Val.
Look, it's not my fault that you never asked her out, okay?
You can recut the footage. Just because the editor cut it one way doesn't mean that you have to keep it like that way in your
Fine.
reel. I just want to see you. This last part of it, the first part was awesome. The second part where
The railroad track.
you could have just used a little bit of that. Or cut to this. This looks good.
And every few minutes, a train passes by on its way out.
And I have a good idea because I know you what you look like, but I can see how, your face fills up the screen.
Sometimes there's just so
The
much noise
two
in my
first
head.
clips are sort of melancholy.
It's trying to tell me.
I don't know if this is supposed to be more dramatic. Okay, action stuff here.
I'd really like to know
Recognize the
who wrote
homie
this
over here.
dialogue. It's terrible.
Were you there?
Uh-oh.
What?
Are you with them?
No. I wasn't always with them.
And you have a constant song playing in the background. This is, again, the back of your head, which I don't need to
But
see
were
for
you an
context.
author?
I was
You have the same song playing across all clips, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, don't waste
Which-
your life.
Can tie the whole thing together as well, but
It's so important this early in the morning.
Early? It's 11 a.m., lazy.
On a Saturday morning, it's just way too early.
Yeah, well, you need to see this. Come here.
Zach, look at me.
okay, now we're going back to Cemetery Fairy.
Man, I'm sorry. I just miss her so.
See, if you just use the first clip from Cemetery Fairy, issue the second one, and go to this, then it's yeah. Because even though he's on screen, I can see how you're playing off of them. All right, then I see your thing at the end, and no alien story clip.
Yeah, actually. They say that if we start hiding out, we might just attract more attention, so. Hey ladies, go hang out for a little bit and bang all those gnarly Earth dudes. We'll be back in about 40 years to scoop you up.
Your job sucks. At least I get to murder my targets. Why don't we just exterminate these fucks all at once?
Hey, help you with something?
Hey, everything okay, man?
Weren't we just talking about this?
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying right now. We were just talking about my podcast.
Right. And then you were interested in that.
Oh, very. I'm a big-time podcast fan. I subscribe to many of them on my, phone device.
Was that you? Whatever. Come here.
Interesting. All right, so my first impression is that it started off great. Then when you continue the second part of that first clip, it dragged a little. If anything, you should cut faster to either the exterior, because I think the first two sort of scenes that you show are framing you in a very similar light. So if I'm watching that and I already see how you look like in a sort of Coen Brothers like real full frame scene, then I would have immediately liked to have seen you standing there talking in that other part. Because I think that sort of flows better for me to kind of see, okay, all right, but let me see how she looks next to another actor, how tall she is, etc. What kind of look she has compared to what the character that I have in my head is that I'm comparing you to. And then, like I said, that part where, and not that I don't want to see the homie Alex, right? That's Alex, right? Yeah, not that I don't want to see the homie Alex on screen, because I do, but this is your reel. So if there's a scene between the two of you that's 30 seconds and 22 seconds of it is him and you off screen, then that's not doing us any good. The scene with you in the doorway was forgettable. So I think the strongest part is that opening is killer. The part where you guys are sitting side by side and you're consoling them is good. That second part where you smush them in the face is not good. And then go to the standing stuff, and then if you want to close with that sentimental thing at the end, that's fine. But if this was for dramatic purposes, I would assume, then you're probably right not to put the comedic stuff in there. But yeah, it's well done. The music changes a little bit. I thought maybe you were using the same song, but I think I did notice changes between them. Some people want to have music over the whole thing, sort of as like a filler for any background. And obviously, what we saw in part of Kenya's scene was one of the scenes that she had. The sound of the final product that came out to was a little bit high. So you want to put your best quality, and oftentimes, unfortunately, this has to do with what the production value of the production company you're working with is. And if they can give you finished footage that's been cleaned up in post and stuff like that, where you don't have a lot of horrible audio and stuff like that. But overall, obviously you've been working for a few years and you've collected some good clips, and you put the best of them together, short and sweet. I think it's a good reel. Obviously, I've worked with you in the past, so I would work with you again. But I think it puts a good foot forward. Those would be my only notes. And thank you for submitting. See, guys, I'm not. It's not that bad. Don't be scared. Dominic and others. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. All right, moving on. Our next victim for today's Real Review is going to be actually a late addition to the lineup, because I had an actor who I've never worked with before who sent me a message and said, hey, I'm a new actor. I'd love some critique on my reel. And that is exactly what I'm trying to do with these bits. So I'm going to watch his video. This literally happened like 15 minutes ago before we started taping. I got the message and I was like, well, we're going to shoot today. So if you want to be reviewed, shoot the link.
And this is really the first time he's watching this, like, for real. Right?
It's been the first time I've watched all of them.
But
in some cases I was familiar with the footage beforehand, but it was the first time I had seen what they put together. Like, obviously I've seen John's work and Karina's work, and who else did we do? Oh, not Kenya's.
But I want to put emphasis on this one because this is like
this is new.
You don't even know this person.
Ishmael Meza. Ishmael Meza, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think
sent me a friend's request, and then he sent me a message, and he said specifically that he was a new actor and he was down for the critique. So, all right, brother. You asked for it. You asked for the thunder. I shall deliver the thunder. I'm going to look at the theatrical reel.
Please, baby. Don't do that.
All right.
Look, I don't want to fight anymore. Okay? I want
right to the action. You're driving a car?
Right here. Right now,
Shows me that
starting
you can drive
tonight.
and you have a license. Good job.
I'm going to cook you a nice dinner and everything. Okay?
Action, running,
All I wanted to do
horror,
was
murder.
hang out. No respect. You think you're better than me. I'll teach you the meaning of respect.
I'd like to know what law says by a man's virtue of him being macho entitles him to
Rocking the hell out of that
bathrooms
purple dress, though.
more than me. What are you
Or is
so
that a
afraid
pencil?
of, Commander? I think you're afraid of what you don't understand.
I like that you're just cutting out
The
anything
only
else that's
threat
not you.
that I see,
So I'm seeing
Commander,
you. Okay.
is
So you
ignorance.
showed me yourself dressed as a woman. You showed me yourself
You know what?
as a murderer. You showed me yourself driving a car.
Caucus is
And now
got
you're a
his
stoner.
back, dude.
Okay.
I mean, he's got cock in his name. The dude cock is.
Hey.
And
Hi.
his
You know
opponent
that.
is Bush. Like, we burn Bush. You know what I mean?
We do burn bush.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
This is making me want to smoke.
Well, I'm glad you understand.
I think I should put
That's
this on a monitor so
exactly
you
what
can
I'm
see what I'm
talking
watching.
about.
Kenny.
I have a mouth too.
You sure do.
Not everything has to be about sex. I'm a person.
Dominant, submissive, I
Okay,
get
what
it.
I can tell from this reel specifically
This
is
is the
you're
best
pretty much
thing
down
for our
whatever.
relationship. We're fine.
I've seen you play a
I keep telling you
murderer.
that. I'm just glad you agreed to come.
Somebody transgender, I'm assuming. Okay. All right. So specifically related to how the reel is put together is good. The first clip drags a little bit, and I'm not as impressed with your ability in the first clip as I am later on. I think the clip that showcases your ability to jump into character the most is the stoner clip. Like, I could totally see you in a stoner comedy. And then when you're in the purple fit there, that part shows me that you're pretty much down to play any part and showcases you a little bit more. The car driving scene is, and I say that I don't need a lot of context, like, are you talking to somebody that's next to you? Are you talking into your speakerphone? Are you preparing for a conversation with somebody? I think that as you progress, just your part without knowing the rest of the context of that scene should tell me which one of those scenarios is happening. Are you talking to somebody right next to you? Are you preparing for a conversation for somebody else? Or are you talking into like a speakerphone? And I didn't get that from your performance. Horror stuff is fine. It shows physicality. That's probably one of the easiest things to showcase. So I like that. I like the stoner clip. I like the purple outfit clip, and I also like the other one, which is with like the therapy session or whatever. That was good. Out of all the clips, the weakest one I think is the first one. So you may want to consider getting rid of it altogether or putting a smaller portion of it somewhere in the middle. Because if the first clip is the one that I'm least impressed with, then the rest of the reel, I'm sort of justifying to myself whether I like this actor or not. I'm trying to find reasons to like you, which I did. Seems like he'll play a wide variety of parts, showed range, and showed that he can get into like basic character types. Heard that you could kind of project your voice, what have you, command the space around you, be physical if you needed to. But primarily, you didn't start off as strong as I wanted you to. So I would consider you for a secondary role. But at this point, I don't think that I would be like, I can put based on this reel, and obviously it shows that if you have that ability and you have that go get it kind of attitude in terms of like, I'll play whatever, I don't care, I'll do this, I'll play a murderer, I'll do everything. Then that shows me, and then you've already put together a few of these kind of pieces together. That shows me that you have a lot of room for growth. So based on this reel, if I was casting and you were trying to submit for like the lead role, I don't think I would seriously, unless you absolutely matched physically what I was looking for, like the picture of the character. I don't think I would put you like in the top tier of contenders, but if it was something secondary, a small role, based on what you're showing me, I would be pretty confident that you wouldn't make me look bad and that you'd be able to pull off, something in like, for like a secondary character, not background, obviously, or featured extra or anything like that, but like, something where you're in one or two scenes. So yeah, and I've never seen your work. I hadn't seen any of those clips before. I didn't know you at all. And, nice meeting you. Glad you enjoyed the video. Hope I wasn't too rough on you. And keep at it, man. Obviously, it's a fucking rough business, but the people who fail are the people who quit. So if you already done this and you already showed me this much, then you got a lot of room for growth. So obviously, more classes, more practice, more stuff like that will help you get there. And that way you can showcase that. But those would be my tips for your reel as I saw it. And that was it.
And I would add, I'm pretty sure I've heard you say that, like, in his, if this actor was to send a reel and
I cannot see you.
and do an audition, that would be his chance to nail his audition, so that he can showcase his talent and also showcase that he can take direction well. Because if he can take direction well, then that could, give him a better chance of getting a better part, more than just that secondary role you were talking about.
And more importantly, on future projects. So if I bring him in and I say, all right, I don't have him as a top tier candidate for role A, but I think it's worth to meet the guy because he seems like he has chops, and I think I could use him in a couple of different things that I have in mind. If I'm bringing you in, I'm not only auditioning you for the part, I'm auditioning you for things I haven't even thought about yet, or characters that I've had in my mind that I want to develop for future projects and I haven't found the right actor for yet. So absolutely, even if I didn't think that you were on my short list right away for part A, if you come in and crush your audition, and specifically I mean make decisions and choices about the character that you're playing beyond the page and information that you're given, then that impresses me a lot. And then, I've gone so far, and I've said this a million times, I've had people that I knew weren't going to get the part that auditioned, and I created extra scenes in movies. The entire thirsty guy and girl sequence in Slapworthy are all actors that auditioned for lead roles, but I had this little concept in my mind, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to work them in there somewhere because they all did a good job. So absolutely, the audition process goes on after that. I'm not an expert on that. I kind of, cast a lot from what I know and who I've worked with, and mix in new talent with the already existing sort of core group. But it is important to communicate well with the casting people, the director, so that you get a chance to get in the room with them, meet them, and then obviously it's going to help you along the way. All right, so I did see. All right, so that was Reel Review again, and again, these are real reels from real actors, really, man. And I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you like and sub if you're new around here. Next time I'll have 3 new actors, including George, the Chameleon Jack, Dante, the homie Dumas, and Jovi, Team Burrito spokeswoman and singer Olivas. And these are all people that I work with, so it'll be an interesting kind of review to see their reels in real time and see my own work on the screen and see how I view it. But thanks for watching, and Big Chief Burrito out.